We learned all about SciViz and how it can be applied to different aspects of science or different fields of science. We did this thing called Science of the Day, where we had different teachers come in for each day and then teach us about their field of science. And my favorite was when we put stomach acid on rocks and it was stinky.
We worked with scientist Nancy, and we learned about bats and how bats live and how you can see their environment, how you can see their evolution adapting to their environment on their skull. Like, for example, you can look at the teeth and you can tell what was in their environment that they were eating. And we learned about family trees and the relationship between different bats. And then that information and SciViz tools so that we could see the bats and we could interact with them without us looking at like a 2-inch skull. That was the information that we used to compare to our mystery bat and find out what it was.
We looked at human origins and traces left behind by earlier humans and hominids, things like footprints, and we analyzed them. And I'm sorry, my voice cracked. We analyzed early hominids and early humans, their footprints, and we looked at their dimensions and analyzed them using programs like ImageJ. And through them we were able to kind of compare and contrast our traits in relation to chimpanzees and other types of primates, and kind of being able to like tell like where certain traits came from.
Learning about the different things that everybody decided to talk about, and definitely getting to choose what we wanted to talk about for our final projects, whether or not it was based off of Module 3. Also, the groups did such different, like differing projects. So, like, some did about concussions. My group did about marine biology. Some are about earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. So, definitely getting to differ off track of the things that we have done and be able to explore horizons in science was definitely one of the major points of Module 4 for me.
Visualization, like science.
Taking science and visualizing, using tools to get other people to be able to understand it.
Using technology and illustrations along with visuals to teach ourselves and to process data so we can make a conclusion into whatever question we're trying to answer. I think that's it.
So science visualization is large sets of data that can be presented technologically.
How to put data together in a way that's visual so that you can see it instead of having it written out and condensed, less of like a clutter of information.
Helping scientists like analyze data more easily with like graphs and charts. Overall, just making it easier, making data easier on the eyes.
Data that is processed digitally and you're able to visualize it.
Science, data, visualization.
Scientific speech, because when I was in school, I can only learn from their study, from their research on the textbook. But here in the museum, the scientist is able to face-to-face tell us about their research and study. And if we have questions, we can ask them like immediately. That's my favorite part.